Hey everyone, it's Ellis, and this is the 12.10 patch notes with no editing as per usual, as this is being done live. So I didn't end up doing the video of the 12.10 champions because it gets really weird when Riot is going to be putting out hotfixes for champions out the gate. I'll talk about a general belief of what I mean for champions that I think are going to be good and why they're going to be good. If you haven't watched the 12.10 preview, then you already... Well, I guess you wouldn't actually know that I already talked about it briefly there, but we'll talk about it in this patch. Have no fear, the champion durability update is here. The patch is a doozy, y'all. We've been working on a sweeping set of changes to increase champion durability across the board. So unlike other patches that typically focus on balance via individual tweaks, 12.10 is all about evenly increasing durability overall and nerfing related systems accordingly, like heal, shields, and sustain. You can now expect to see longer fights throughout the game, more effort required to burst down your foes, and bigger windows of opportunity for your skill expression. Read on for the details and check out the most recent quick gameplay thoughts for even more context. Okay, so 12.10 notes: Grievous Wound, Shields, Heals, Vamp, Champ Durability Update, and we have the new skins. Champ Adjustment is Swain, and then in addition, I think that they've also clarified all the champions. Okay, Durability Base Stat Package. So I already talked about this in another video. Base Health 70, Health Growth 14, Armor Growth 1.2, Magic Resist is going to be 0.8. Poor Loss Soul. Thresh will receive an adjusted durability base stat package. See champion details. Will do. Heal, Shields, and Grievous Wound. A big takeaway here is that our goal is not to nerf Sustain. Since each champion utilizes Sustain differently, some will be stronger with the update and others weaker. That said, we'll be keeping a very close eye on these champions as they roll out and making adjustments where needed. Since increased durability means that heal, shields, and sustain will matter more to everyone, we're nerfing these systems. According with approximately equal weight on a smaller note, we're also nerfing Grievous Wounds this patch in order to keep it in balance with healing so that its power will be roughly the same as before. These changes apply to all parts of the game, including champions, items, runes, summoner spells, and objectives. Reduced by 10% in earlier game, 28% in later phases of the game. Okay, so... Proactive extended combat nerfs. With these updates, you can expect fights to last a little longer. The goal is not to make the games longer, but rather to nerf a few systems. Sunfire, Aegis, Moonstone Renewer, Demonic Embrace, and Conditioning, okay? That could dominate the game if left unchecked. League of Cleavers, anyone. We don't want to pre-nerf potentially OP champions for this patch, but we're confident these systems would warp item and rune choices if left unchecked. Okay, champions. Because today's update touches check notes, almost every single champion in League, we're going to spare our mental and won't write context for every single champion. That being said, in addition to the durability update, we have a few unrelated quality of life follow-ups for Swain's recent rework, so skip ahead to your favorite bird tactician, okay? Atrox, healing against champions, is going to go from 20 to 30% to 18 to 26% of damage dealt. EM power during our healing against champions is going to go down by, so it's going to go from 26 to 45% of the damage dealt. Now, this isn't really that big of a deal. You're losing 1% of healing at rank 1 during his R, which is the empowered one. You're losing 2% of the healing that you're dealing early on. So Atrox is actually not getting tagged that hard. He's losing 5% at level 16. This is totally fine. You guys already know that I think that Atrox will probably end up being one of the better champions in the patch with all of the increased durability. And I think that with like tanks possibly coming in, as well as like true damage centric champions, as well as you know, the Void Empress that is coming out very soon, Belveth. Sorry, I needed a moment. Ari, passive heal upon full stacks from minions and monster kills, 40 to 120 to 35 to 95. Plus, all right, so her AP ratio on her heal is going down. Her flat healing is going down. This is actually a lot more sizable than Atrox's because of the way that it plays into her mid laning phase. Passive heal upon champion takedowns is also getting hit. In the mid game, this is definitely a lot bigger. It's also getting tagged by the 5% AP. I would say that this is very different from Atrox's, and that Ari's is a lot less reliable, and the things that actually go into it hit her a lot harder. Atrox is obviously in combat healing. Ari's is obviously from like minions and monsters to an extent, but still, I think this is actually losing a lot of HP in mid lane, so I think that Ari does get tagged. And you guys already know that my prediction for the patch is that mages in general are going to be hurt really, really, really badly if they are Everfrost reliant champions, if they're champions that, you know, have a dependency on Sorks, if they're champion that's dependent on like Sork Shadow Flame bursting the opponent, things of that nature. So champions like Vex are just going to be in really, really bad shape. Champions like Syndra, I think, are going to be in really bad shape. Champions that have reliance on cooldowns and who just throw out lots of magic damage, and they throw out barrage of abilities and spells and all this other stuff. So champions like Ziggs, like Orianna, like Xerath, etc. These champions are going to be fine. I know that there was a lot of comments, actually, I saw about Xerath, and I just couldn't help but think that the people that play him don't really understand him in general, because Xerath's real strength is that his cooldowns are so short, and he's very obnoxious with his range, and he does not actually have to kill you in 2 rotations. It just so happened that he did that, but that's not really what drives a lot of his strength. Anyways, Akshan. Passive shield. Wow, that is very negligible. 40% bonus AD. This is a super negligible change, considering that Akshan is a lane bully. Now, lane bullies are a lot stronger this patch than they used to be. I'll recap on this a little bit later, but just remember this now. As I mentioned, Akshan. Akshan is not getting tagged. Ahri's getting tagged. Aatrox, Akshan so far not tagged. Alistar passive heal is going down by a very negligible amount. This is an extremely negligible amount. This is very akin to Aatrox. This is very fine. Alistar is fine. Okay. Annie, E-Shield, 40 to 240 plus 40%, 240 to 220 plus 35%. Not the main reason that you play Annie, but it is her last maxed ability. Given that it's her last maxed ability, you're not actually losing anything from rank 1 in it. You don't even begin to lose stuff until later on. This doesn't really do anything to Annie. I think even support Annie, I'm not actually sure if she puts points in E. I haven't seen it in forever, but for mid lane Annie, it's W and Q the whole way, which means that if you're really that concerned about 20 flat shield on her E, which is not a lot of uptime, etc., very, very luxurious. Like, honestly, the shield is almost never fully chewed through. You have bigger problems going on. Annie's fine. Aphilio, Severum healing from basic attacks is going to be 3 to 10 to 2.5 to 9 of damage dealt. Severum healing from attacks from abilities, 9 to 30 to 8.3 to 30. Okay, that's fine. Severum overheal shielding is unchanged. Severum heal upon champion hit, 275 to 525 to 250 to 450, 611 and 16. So we're mostly looking at like rank 2. Aphelios can be losing a little bit, but for the most part, for Aphelios players, this is actually a pretty negligible amount of healing being lost. This is really, really good for Aphelios. Azir, E-Shield, is going to be 60 to 240 plus 70% AP to 70 to 230. Again, very negligible amount of HP is actually being lost here. Azir, when he does go for the engage, though, I mean, I could see the entirety of his shield being chewed through. The problem is that Azir doesn't get like obscene high amounts of AP unless he has like the death cap variation of things, which maybe he will. So I could actually see this impacting Azir, and Azir is maybe a champion that's going to end up coming back because Azir is a lane bully. He is a stat checker, and when it's hard to move him early, but he can move you due to the nature of his kit and you know, and nature of initial bait stats and things like that, etc., then things can get really weird, especially because Azir doesn't have as much of a dependency on some of the items that other mages that have been flourishing in the meta right now do have. Bard, minimum heal is 30 to 150 plus 30% to 25 to 125 plus 30%. So I believe what Riot's doing here, I'm not going to actually alt-tab and go and check another note or something. Bard's healing just got buffed recently, and I feel like it's just going back to the old Bard healing, unless I'm totally wrong. So I feel like this is fine. I don't think Bard is really going to complain. The W min heal in the later stages, I mean, it's whatever. It's not why you're picking Bard. The maximum heal, I mean, losing that much early, because remember, Bard puts out 3 hot chocolates. So when Bard puts out 3 hot chocolates, and you do lose 30, I mean, that one is sizable. That one is a little bit weird. The max heal, just outright losing 30 on the max heal, I guess that feels a little bit bad, but you know, what can you do? Passive, adaptive shield, 20 to 17% max health. This is fine. Camille almost never chews through the entirety of her passive shield. Reason being that usually Camille's sequence is that she combos it with her hook shot, and it's like you can't really respond anyway. Let's just be totally honest. It's very rare that the entirety of her adaptive shield is chewed through. Losing 3% of her maximum health on it is totally fine. It's not going to break her. Camille is still going to be a good champion because she's able to Cho'Gath ult you so consistently. And in such a meta that is going to just have extended fights, Camille's going to be very, very good. This is all fine. Cassiopeia, healing against poison targets, 12 to 20% to 10 to 16% ability power, still reduced by 75% against minions and small monsters. This is, I think, not large enough for Cassio nerf. Cassiopeia does not have a reliance on boots because she can't build boots. The other thing about Cassiopeia is that Everfrost is an item for her, but Cassiopeia isn't as affected by, you know, Sork Pen boots, reliance on Void Staff, reliance on Shadow Flame, and all this other stuff in order to deal damage. Cassiopeia wants the fights to be longer. Cassiopeia wants to be able to go up against certain champions and be able to get out of laning phase or at least have evenly skilled matchups. I think that Cassio is probably going to be one of the champions that actually does end up coming back into the meta as both a mid and a top laner, and that she's going to be built bruiser, and that with all the, you know, increase to the resists and HP and everything, she's just going to be a lot better. Cho'Gath. Passive heal, 20 to 71 to 18 to 52. So that is a somewhat big fall off. The most important levels are the early levels, and the reason that I say this is because Cho'Gath has two variations. He has AP Cho'Gath, which is the Lost Chapter thing, which you just have to get to level 4, which I fully believe there's no way to move him probably now, until level 4. I think that it's probably going to be impossible to move him in early lane. Doesn't matter if you're a lane bully. I think that Cho'Gath is almost always going to now get the level 4 or the minute 4 Lost Chapter recall with the Futures Market, the Sapphire Start, refillable pot in some matchups, 3 red pots in some other matchups. I think that the nerf to it early on, he's losing 12 HP for the first few waves, which probably ends up meaning that he's missing 50 HP, but it doesn't matter because he's getting 70 at level 1, and then it means that he's also getting more health growth and stuff. So Cho'Gath, very, very good. Darius. Q healing against champions and large monsters, 15 to 13% of missing health per enemy hit by blade up to 3. Darius is very interesting because if the jungle meta ends up gravitating towards tank junglers, I could see Darius jungle being a thing. A lot of people don't know that Darius actually has a pretty good clear inside of the jungle. He's also one of the champions that once upon a time got the increased damage to jungle monsters. And I think that can end up making Darius probably go into the jungle, if not just going up into top lane. And I do think that in, a meta that is going to have extended fights, etc., more durability, Darius does get better. Diana, W shield, 30 to 90 plus 30% AP plus 10% bonus health to 25 to 85 plus 25%. Okay, it doesn't matter for Diana's shield. It's not really getting tagged. R increased base health, 15 to 25% to 10 to 20%. That is a large amount for Dr. Mundo. But, well, actually, yeah, I mean, that is a large amount for Dr. Mundo. Dr. Mundo does demand Grievous Wounds end up being built inside of the game anyway, so I don't think it's the end of the world. I think that Mundo has a lot of other problems. I do not think that Mundo is going to pop up. I think even if tanks do end up coming into the meta, I think Mundo's role as an anti-mage, etc., is the old Mundo. It has nothing to do with current Mundo. I just don't see Mundo coming back into the meta. I could be totally wrong, but Mundo's is not like the end of the world, but it is something. There's a lot of champions here, it seems like. We're only at the letter E. Echo, W shield. This is very negligible. He almost never uses the shield. The only time he uses the shield is in like ultra mid-late game team fights. And even then, the shield is losing a very negligible amount, doesn't do anything. Elise, passive spider form healing from basic attacks, 4 to 10 plus 10% AP to 4 to 10 plus 8% AP. Again, Elise is not a champion that gets obscene amounts of ability power, so the 2% being missing doesn't matter. The base is still the same, doesn't affect her. Fiora, passive healing against vitals, 40 to 115 to 35 to 100, totally fine. Our heal per second is going to be 80 to 140 plus 60% bonus AD to 75 to 125 plus 60% bonus AD. Wow, Fiora's not getting tagged at all. So combine this with, like, it's going to be harder to control her in the later stages, her true damage, how flexible she is, and everything else. I think that Fiora is probably well-positioned for the upcoming patch. Doesn't mean that really anyone's going to play her. She is a ping-dependent champion. She literally is a different champion the lower the ping that you actually go. You know, if you're playing at 35 ping MSI or something, Riposte is going to be way harder than if you're actually playing on 8 ping or something. So definitely weird. Fiddlesticks. Remember, Fiddlesticks's heal was just buffed. So the fact that they're nerfing it right now does not actually matter. We have to keep this in mind. Fiddlesticks was like last patch or 2 patches ago. Fiddle's healing was just buffed on his W as a means to try to nudge him in the right direction. And now this Fiddlesticks is just going to be more durable. He's going to have more HP. He's going to have more resists. And he's going to be healing roughly the same that he was before. Actually, more so because his healing is just going to be the way that it was a couple of patches ago. And now Grievous Wounds is even worse. Fiddlesticks is going to be totally fine. Galio, W magic damage shield, 6 to 15, 7.5 to 13.5% max health. Again, it's another shield that is not entirely chewed through. 0.5 at rank 1 doesn't matter. Gangplank, this one's big. Or this one should be big. Let's actually see if it is. 50 to 150. And now remember, this ability is one that he maxes last. So he's just losing 2% missing health, and he's missing 5. So his healing in lane, nothing's really happening. He's a lane bully. He's just getting a lot more durability. One of the things that you could maybe argue is that he's more likely to run Probably not going to run anyway. I mean, Gangplanks take cookies anyway in most cases, and like I think it's going to be totally fine for Gangplank, etc. Everything's fine here. Garen, W shield, 70 to 170, 20% bonus health, to 65 to 145 plus 18% bonus health. So Garen uses this at like really specific moments to time it. He doesn't use it all the time. 2% bonus health. Garen doesn't actually start getting health items until 3rd item, so it's not like he's missing a lot on the 2%. First item is generally Trinity Force or Stride Breaker, and then after that, it's usually going to be Phantom Dancer or it's going to be Mortal Reminder, and then after that is when he starts getting the Dead Man's Plate or the Force of Nature or things of that. So not the end of the world. It's also his last max stability. He's just not losing a lot. Gragas, passive heal is going to go down by 1.5% of his max health. I feel like this is a this is actually a lot more severe because of the amount that Gragas will use his passive in lane is really high. And I feel like Riot is doing this because Gragas is already really hard to move in top lane, and now he's going to be even harder to move in top lane. This is probably the most sizable nerf on this list so far, except for Ahri. Well, I mean, actually, it's greater than Ahri. This is very big. This is a preemptive measure at controlling top Gragas without giving him any sort of, benefit to, lane or jungle Gragas or something, which, again, I don't know. It seems like Riot doesn't care about. Passive healing against champions, 70 to 60% of the damage dealt. Passive maximum healing against champions, 12 to 30, levels 1 to 18, plus 7% AP, to 10 to 25, plus 6.5 per AP per instance. Not the end of the world. I will say that Gwen getting a lot more HP with her resists and everything like that, this is probably just going to actually balance out. The 10% of the damage dealt, like, early on probably ends up meaning that Gwen is, like, having maybe 2 auto attacks worth less of HP, which probably means that Gwen is almost going to be the same, whereas the opponents that she's playing up against are not going to be the same. So I do think that Gwen's nerf is actually kind of big. No, Karen! Passive, Tentacles heal Alawi for 5 to 4.5% of her missing health upon hitting at least one enemy. So I'm trying to think, like, what 0.5% of our missing health even matters, like, early on. I guess, like, when you have 2 or 3 tentacle slams end up going off, Malawi could miss, like, 8 to 10% of her missing health maybe in laning phase, but how much health is she really missing? At most cases, she'll be missing like 200, 300, maybe 400 on the high end. So Alawi will probably end up missing like 100 HP, but I think that given that Alawi is a lane bully who really just wants to inflict pain early because she has really good joust in a lot of the lanes that she plays, and she's able to set you into a really uncomfortable position early on. Having more HP to play with her W buffs that she got a long time ago, Corrupting Pot, etc., and the increased resist that she's getting, even in some of the harder matchups, I think it's really good for Alawi. Aurelia, Q heal 8 to 16% AD to 7 to 11%. Yeah, that's really big in the later stages. I'm not gonna. That is massive. Even 3% at rank 3 is really big. This is tagging Aurelia really hard. This is, I think, on par with like the Gragas change. I legitimately think this is on par with the Gragas change. Ivern, E-Shield. So this is one that I was concerned about. Let's take a look at how bad it is. Wow, it's bad. So, okay. All right, Ivern doesn't get a whole lot of ability power. Ivern is Moonstone, Mikhail, Redemption. Let's just nip that in the bud real quick. Ivern doesn't get a lot of ability power. 5% is not what is painful. Losing 30 flat on his first maxed ability is a little bit brutal. And it is really brutal in laning. Well, in laning phase too, this is actually really brutal. Because in laning phase, his shield is chewed through. In jungle, when Ivern's ganking and it's 2v1, or even if it's 2v2, his shield is not necessarily fully chewed through. This is a really big hit. And the other thing about it is that now, items that he picks up, like Moonstone Renewer and Redemption, Mikhail's increasing the healing and shielding and everything like that, it does feel a little bit bad. I'm not going to say it's the end of the world for Ivern. Wow, this is painful, though. This is, for lane Ivern, this is painful. For lane Ivern, this is really brutal. It's also really brutal for Daisy when Daisy's taking turrets. So rank 3 and rank 4 are mostly the ones that we're looking at here. 25 just being missing is actually like quite sizable. Like you could legitimately be missing 75 HP that you would have otherwise had in most cases now on lane Ivern, and that's sizable. That's really weird. Wow. Okay. Janna, I was talking about this yesterday in the MSI live viewings. Janna is still one of the most broken champions in the game. No one reads patch notes. No one reads patch notes. Janna was a bit of a problem in Spring Split when she was doing the roaming Janna top lane thing. Riot nerfed her a little bit. It wasn't enough, okay? Janna is still one of the best champions in the entire game. No one plays her. Just totally unpicked. No one cares, apparently. I don't know. I guess it's the playstyle or something. I'm not totally sure, but okay. How is Ivern gonna get smacked harder than Janna, man? What is going on? Janna, likewise, does not build ability power, just like Ivern does not build ability power. R heal per second her R heal per second is only getting tagged by ability power. Are you kidding? Well, that's at rank 3. I mean, at level 11, which I think is reliable, it's only 5 missing. 10 off at rank 1 is kind of big, but like it's not the end of the world. Wow, John is like, dude, they want her to be played. They want her to be played, and they want me to demote. True. Okay, honestly, they're just coming for Big Tonka. Big Tonka is just getting tagged on this patch, isn't he? Ivern's getting nerfed. Let's see what happens to Nautilus and Karma. Oh, man. Oh, man. Jarvan the 4th, base shield. Base shield doesn't matter. Has anyone seen Jarvan's shield get chewed through? Anyone? Like, I feel like it's not even an ability. Shield increase, 1.5 to 1. No one cares. No one cares. What a joke of an ability. I'm moving on. Kaisa, R shield. 75 to 125 plus 100 to 200% AD to 100% AP. AP ratio is getting nerfed. AD ratio is getting nerfed. And the flat shield is also getting nerfed. Kaisa, another one. Kaisa's shield never gets chewed through. Kaisa never Rs and has the shield get chewed through unless you have Lord Danny taking on Gala in bot lane and Kaisa uses the R. Like, it is so rare that Kaisa's entire shield is chewed through, so I just feel like this is such a negligible change. I feel like it doesn't really do that much. Okay, Karma. R, empowered heal. 20 plus 1% per 100 ability power to 17%, plus 1% per 100 AP missing health. So 3% missing health. I think top lane Karma could be a problem because it's going to be really hard to move her. Her shield is getting tagged, but the problem is that Karma maxes, well, Q to 3 points and then maxi in a lot of instances. Sometimes it is just maxi outright with no points in Q. It's losing 30 flat off it. The one that is really important is the rank 3 where it has 20 missing. Karma, another champion that does not build AP, whether it's her tank variation or her enchanter variation. This does not hit her as hard. Our empowered primary shield 25 to 190 plus 50% AP to 25 to 170 plus 45% AP. So Karma, another really good champion, not really getting tagged that much. I would say that top lane tank Karma does suffer the most with the shield having 20 off it and the W heal getting tagged. Our Grievous Rune applied 60 to 50%. Okay. Kale. Heal 60 to 180 plus 30% AP to 55 to 155 plus 25% AP. So Kale actually does get ability power, but it's not the main purpose of her early laning build. Kale will typically end up like maybe getting a Dark Seal. Berserker Greaves is going to typically be like the first item and stuff like that. So the AP part doesn't really matter. She doesn't have a lot of AP early on anyway. This is her last maxed ability, and it's only losing 5 at rank 1. Not the end of the world. Kale is going to be good with all the increased durability and everything else. Okay, Rost. Passive, Darken Slayer. Healing from abilities against champions, 30 to 40% to 25 to 35% of physical damage dealt. Okay. E-Heal. Now, the reason that this is big, I'll comment on it after. E-Heal. So this affects all versions of Kayn. 100 to 160 plus 40% bonus AD to 90 to 130 plus 35% bonus AD. So 5% bonus AD, 10 off at level 1. Ross top lane could end up being a thing. You'll probably end up using E, I would say 4 to 5 times. So you'd look at that at about 50 HP. I would say, because you don't have a lot of bonus AD in the early laning phases. So Ross top lane probably losing 40 to 50 HP in a practical nature, at least in top lane. The healing level 1 to 18 being reduced is definitely a problem. Our Darken Slayer heal, so I assume that, yeah, this is Rost's Umbral Trespass. 10.5% plus 9.1% per bonus 180. To 9.75 plus 8.45 per 100% bonus AD targets max health. 70 to 65% of the damage amount. Okay, so the thing about Rost and why building Grievous Wounds against Rost is not really that good. Umbral Trespass lasts longer than Grievous Wound duration. So if the Rost player is a human being and actually has a brain, what ends up happening is Rost goes into you, combos. Typically, he's already at full HP, not always. Umbral Trespasses, and then he watches the little bar above his abilities, and then the Grievous Wounds falls off, and then Rost goes out, he gets the full heal. You can't do anything about it. The only way that this doesn't work if he's under the effect of Ignite. I think the only way that he doesn't work is if he's under the effect of Ignite, or he walks, or he comes out onto like Varus's desecrated ground, or whatever it is, or something like that. Could even be wrong on the Varus front. So the R thing, he actually is getting nerfed. It's not like super big. I think that Rost already overheals for a lot of stuff. I think like with Gore Drinker and Frozen Heart and Black Cleaver, like probably just being really good items. And all of those are like Rost's best friend. I mean, he does have the Eclipse. He does have the Eclipse version where he can just go lethality, but I guess lethality is now actually going to be worse, so it probably will mean that Gore Drinker is just ultimately going to be better because he's not going to be able to kill them as easily. That like Ross top lane will probably be a lot better. Ross jungle, I mean, we don't care. Kha'Zix, W heal. 60 to 160 plus 50% AP to 55 to 135 plus 50% AP. Again, very negligible, doesn't matter. W, passive healing upon full stacks is going to be 49 to 100 to 47 to 81 based on missing health. Fine. R heal is going down. No one cares about Kindred R heal. Let's be totally honest. That's not, like, no one cares. No one cares about 25 missing from it. Who cares? Okay. Kled. Passive Scar's health upon returning. 50 to 80% to 45 to 75%. Levels 1, 6, 11, 16 is Scarl's maximum health. Q, mounted Grievous Wounds upon pull, 60 to 50%. Okay, so he still does retain the fact that his Grievous Wounds are greater than yours. That's kind of fine. Lee Sin, W1 shield, 55 to 275 to 50 to 250 plus 80% AP. Doesn't build AP. Again, he doesn't put a lot of points in this ability because Lane Lee Sin is not a thing anymore. Bonus lifesteal does not actually get changed at rank 1, so Lee Sin players rejoice. You guys are going to be totally fine. The later skill points also don't really matter, and even if you were playing Lane Lee Sin, these numbers are not problematic. You're looking at 1%. So it doesn't matter, yeah. Lilia, passive healing against large monsters, 27 to 104, plus 6% AP to 24 to 75. That is a lot of healing removed. What? What? I mean, I guess it's not, like, super bad until later, but, like, what? That just seems weird. But I guess they do predict that Lilia will probably end up being one of the better champions because she's not a jungler that is dependent on Sorkpen boots, and she's not a jungler that had to go Everfrost and stuff. She had so many different build variations with, like, Leandre's, and Leandre's is probably going to be a bit of a problem this patch, so that'll obviously be good too. Lissandra, minimum self-heal, 100 to 200 plus 30% AP to 90 to 190 plus 25% AP, doesn't matter. Lulu, 80 to 240, 40% AP to 75 to... Like, I don't get how Ivern can get tagged, like, really hard, and this is, like, Lulu's support, and she's, like, barely being tagged. Now, Lulu's support puts Q to 3 points and then starts maxing E, to my knowledge, or she starts maxing W. I don't actually know. 5 points being lost at rank 1, not super problematic until you, like, get into the mid-game. Our bonus health going down. Again, she doesn't build a lot of AP. Doesn't really matter. Lulu's getting away with murder. Lux, W shield, 45 to 120. No one cares about the shield. Malphite, passive shield, is going down by 1% max health. This is so nuts. This is so... Malphite's going to be so good on the patch. No one's going to play him, but Malphite is just going to be so good. One of the things I will say, though, about Malphite is that some of the lanes that he maybe did bully before or that he resisted might actually skew to where it was, like, slightly even to maybe being not favored for Malphite, at least early, but then it'll swing to being favored for Malphite as the items begin to get purchased. Oh my god, there's so many champions, man. Okay, Mordekaiser's shield, 40 to 50% to 35 to 45%. Doesn't really matter. I mean, Mordekaiser has a lot of other issues. Healing from abilities, 20 to 18% of damage dealt against champions, large monsters, medium, and large monsters. This doesn't really matter. Morgana jungle is still really good. Pros just don't want to learn where to stand, just like Fiddlesticks. But Morgana jungle would actually be probably one of the better jungle champions if people learned where to stand and stuff, because she's not as impacted by a lot of the changes that are going on around her. And she obviously really likes extended fights. Nami, W heal, 60 to 100, 30% AP to 55, again, negligible. Passive lifesteal, being lost by 1%, and then it's being lost by 2%. Doesn't matter, Nasus' best role is support, and the lifesteal is going to be super negligible. You're losing 1% at level 1, which, I mean... if you're doing a really, really good job in lane and it's a free lane, you might lose an auto attack worth of HP. Nautilus, W shield, 45 to 85, doesn't matter. Nidalee, base heal, 35 to 115 to 35 to 95, plus 27, okay, this doesn't matter. Passive, healing from empowered basic attacks, 15 to 40 to 13 to 30, plus 15% AP, plus, wait, they buffed his AP. What? Is there any AP build on Nocturne? Wait. Does this mean if you take D-Ring? Does this mean if you take D-Ring that you heal? Like more? Wait. No, it can't. Wait, actually, yeah, it does. Right? I don't even know. What is even going on? If you take D-Ring or Dark... Like, I don't even know. Nuno and Willem. Base healing against non-champions, 75 to 215. Plus 90%, plus 10%. 65 to... Oh, wow. 70% AP. Wow, Kesha's just gone, isn't she? Oh, my lord. She's gone like she was from 2010 to, like, 2020 or whatever when she released a new album or something. Like, this is... Oh, my lord. And that guy seriously needs to get off her Twitch channel. I honestly, I just can't even believe it. Orianna, E-Shield, 60 to 220, plus 50% AP to 55 to 195. Again, a very negligible thing. Her shield is almost never chewed through. Passive shield on Poppy, 15 to 20 to 13 to 18. Maximum health, okay. Again, another shield that doesn't almost ever get chewed through. Gray health, upper cap, 60 to 55%. Passive, okay, oh my lord. I'm going to start just reading these, and I'll talk about the ones that I think actually matter. and the ones that I think that don't. I do not think that Pikes matters because there's just so many champions that just keep getting red, and I don't want to like bore everyone with what's going on. The passive shield here. So the Q heal is actually levels 1 to 18. Rakan losing 15% AP, not the end of the world. The E shield is also getting tagged, but so he's getting hit in 2 separate areas. I mean, I guess it's still fine. Q healing per champion hit. This doesn't matter. Rel needs a rework. E shield 50 to 130 to plus 50% AP. I mean, it's already such a negligibly low amount. It does not. It literally just does not matter about her E. Okay, Renekton. Q healing against non-champions 2 to 6 plus 3% bonus AD to 2 to wow. They're really hitting him. Healing against champions 12 to 36 plus 16% to 10 to 26 plus wow. Wait, he's actually getting tagged. What? 6 to 18, 3% bonus AD. Wait, he's actually just getting tagged. And this is really sad because a lot of champions that bully Renekton or that are like good against Renekton are just going to naturally be a lot stronger. And it doesn't really matter, I think, that Renekton's getting a lot more like resists and stuff because a lot of the champions that are going to be good against him don't care that they're hitting because they're getting the free blows before he gets to respond with the free blows. And then the sustain's just not there for him. But Renekton has had other buffs and stuff happen to him, which is kind of funny. I looked at that the other day on stream and it's just funny that like no one picks him anymore when you look at a lot of his patch history. Riven, E-Shield, 65 to 205, 100%, 20% bonus AD, to 80 to 180. This is fine because Riven Shield is broken anyway. It is a spammable ability, but I don't think that the nerf to it is actually going to be big enough, nor do I think that the shield is really going to matter that much. Rumble Shield, that's fine. Q-Heal on Senna, okay. 40 to 120. So this is her first max stability, plus 40% bonus AD, plus 40% AP, plus 1.6 lethality. It used to be 1.6. Okay, so Senna's heal is getting tagged. It's not really tagged that much at rank 1 and 2, which are the only amounts that you really need to, care about it. Rank 3, it does start to get hit a little bit, and then rank 4, you can kind of start to feel it, but again, not the end of the world. Our shield's kind of negligible too. Usually Senna casts it for assists, or it ends up fading. Because if she casts it on a teammate that's engaging into you, typically, you're responding to like CC or you're stuck in CC, etc. In most cases, and the shield falls off. Seraphine, W shield, 60 to 140, 40%, to 50 to 130, plus 35%. Seraphine, they already shifted Seraphine into wanting to be primarily Enchanter only, which just means that her base is all that we really need to care about, which is only getting tagged by 10. So Moonstone, Mikhail's, Redemption, etc. W heal per ally, 5 to 7 to 0.75 per 100. 5 to 7 plus 0.6 per 100 AP if the target's missing health. This doesn't matter. Again, she doesn't build a lot of AP. She just builds full utility items. Seraphine's probably going to be very good. Shen, passive shield, 50 to 101, levels 1 to 18, plus 14% bonus health, 50 to 100, level, okay. Shen's shield is a lot more practical. In terms of like how often it's used and how often he trades with it up. So having like some loss to it is kind of there. Shen does start building bonus health, but not immediately always out the gate. Sometimes he does just build armor or magic resist items. I think all things considered, his nerfs are not really impactful, and Shen's sort of like fading the nerfs here. Q during R, Grievous Wounds applied by Poison Trail. I forgot this was even a thing. 40 to 30%. Okay, Scion W shield, 60 to 160, plus 10 to 14%, 60 to 160 plus 8 to 12% of the target's max health. Okay, Skarner, this just does not matter, by the way, in most cases. Skarner, 10 to 14% max health plus 80% AP to 9 to 13% max health plus 80% AP. So I actually don't know what Skarner's total skill order is. I remember that Dom did a thing on this on Twitter or something. I actually have to look that up. It's just been so long about Skarner. I forgot what his skill order is. This could maybe be like, I mean, not really. It's only 1% max health. And the way that Skarner's going to build, he's only going to end up getting 2 items anyway because he's a jungler. So realistically, he's probably losing like what? He's probably losing like 30 HP. And I mean, it is a spammable ability. It's such a negligible amount. Sona, W shield, 25 to 125, 30% AP to 25 to 105, plus 25% AP. So the Grievous Wound stuff being there, I guess, and losing 20 flat at max rank, 10 flat at rank 3. W heal 30 to 110 plus 20% to 30 to 90 plus 15%. These are definitely things for Sona, but I think when you consider all the increased resists and everything else like that, and everything else just sort of being kept in line, this is roughly on par. I guess Sona's numbers are a little bit more excessive than what is reflected in the Grievous wounds, in terms of like the nerf that's coming out. Sona, again, not like she doesn't have to build AP. But sometimes she does with different builds, but typically it'll just be the enchanter. It's fine. Soraka. So her Q heal isn't being affected. What? Her laning heal isn't being affected. She's just going to be tankier with more HP and still have her Q heal. I just have to show on Twitch chat. What? What? What is going on? Wait, what do you mean? Read W. W heal. I mean, the W heal is getting tagged. The W heal is getting tagged. Don't get me wrong. W heal is really getting tagged. This is, yeah, she is getting hit real hard. 50 healing being removed is really, 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 really big. 50 healing being removed is massive. At rank 3, it is 30 on a spammable ability. We are literally talking about upwards of like 210 HP missing from a team fight. But I mean, okay, what this probably means is that 80 carry Soraka is probably just better than maybe her alternates. I'm not totally sure. Her R is not getting tagged, by the way. This is a joke. She's getting 5 off her R and 5% AP. Her first item's Moonstone, and then she goes Redemption and Mikhail's, and then she gets Spell Thieves. It was like, what is actually going on? Her R is fine. Okay. She might legitimately cast W 10 times in a team fight late game. She might legitimately cast it 10 times. That is a lot of HP missing. But I think when you add up all the HP that everyone else is getting, when you add up all the HP and the resists everyone else is getting, and the fact that her R removes Grievous wounds, and the fact that her R is for the most part untouched, and the fact that her Q wasn't touched, Soraka's probably fine. Maybe, but we'll see. We'll see her items. Maybe Riot's hitting the items. Swain, passive heal per soul fragment, 4 to 9% to 3.5 to 7%. At levels 1, 6, 11, 16 maximum health. R drain heal. What is going on? They just literally remade this champion just to change up his. Okay. This is fine. R drain per second, 15 to 65. Wow, he loses 10 at rank 2. Plus 25% AP. Swain does build AP, but Swain is like, I don't know. Everyone I see on Twitter, everyone I see on Reddit, oh, Swain's bad, Swain's bad, Swain's bad. Every time I see Swain, I just think, how are you losing? Like every single time I just see this champion, I literally just think to myself, how are you possibly losing? Your champion is so tanky, it's so beefy, it's so obnoxious. You must build Grievous wounds against Swain. You must build Grievous wounds about Swain. Now, I will say that the nerf is not reflective of the decrease in Grievous wounds, meaning that his nerf is actually more severe. The numbers are not reflective. So that's actually kind of weird. Swain does get tagged, actually, quite a bit. Silas, W heal. 25 to 125 to 20 to 100 plus 35% AP. Silas, whatever. Tom Kench, Q heal. 10 to 30 plus 4 to 6% missing health to 10 to 20. Plus 3 to 5% missing health, not the end of the world. E damage stored into gray HP, 15 to 55 to 13 to 40, doesn't matter. E increased damage stored into gray health, 45 to 65, doesn't matter, okay. Talon, Q heal. I didn't even know his Q had a heal. What? His Q has a heal? What? Did anyone even know this? I didn't know this. Coach, by the way. I didn't even know this was the thing. Don't care. Didn't know. Didn't ask. Taric, Q heal. 30 plus 20% AP plus 1% of Tarik's max health to 5 plus 15% AP, doesn't build AP, plus 0.75 of Tariq's max health. Okay, it doesn't really matter. W shield, 8 to 12% of maximum health. Okay, 1% of his max health. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. These changes don't matter. Tariq's fine. Health growth for Thresh is up by 20. Not 14. Armor growth unchanged. Does not receive durability base stat package. Okay. W shield, 60 to 180 plus 2 per soul to 50 to 150 plus 2 per soul. So the shield for himself is just not really going to be the same, but Thresh is fine. I mean, the armor growth thing is obviously fine with all the health growth that he's getting. I mean, that's good for Thresh. Trundle, passive heal, 2 to 7 to 1.8 to 5. All right, Trundle's is not changed. Tryndamere, Q minimum heal, 30 to 70 plus 30%. Ability power thing doesn't matter. 25 to 57. This is a spammable ability for him. So, I mean, it does feel a little bit bad. He actually will lose probably an auto attack worth of HP in lane, but it's fine because the buffs end up not mattering. Additional heal per Fury, okay. Per Fury. Oh, okay. It's negligible amount. Udyr shield, 60 to 235 plus 50% AP to 60 to 210 plus 45% AP. I don't think this really impacts him that much. W heal, I didn't know it had a heal, 2 to 4%. Okay, Varus, E-Graves Wounds doesn't matter. E-Shield Urgot doesn't really matter, no. Although, actually, hold on, I do have to read Urgot because I think Urgot might be good on the patch because of Black Cleaver. 60 to 140 plus 150% bonus AD, 15% to 55 plus 135. Now, this is his last max stability, right? Or it's his second to last max stability. I can't actually remember for top lane Urgot off the top of my head. 15% bonus AD. He builds Black Cleaver, and then he builds what? He builds Titanic, and then he starts building like full tank items, right? And then 15% bonus health. He is losing some HP because Urgot shield will actually, you will fight through Urgot shield, so I guess it is something. Passive Vi shield doesn't matter. Viego, heal upon possession, 3 plus 3% bonus AD plus 2% AP, plus 5% per 100 attack speed, 2.5. What is going on? Q healing upon basic attacks and March champions is down by 15%. Q healing upon, okay, this is fine. Q shield, Victor, 30 to 115 to 27. This is a joke. This is an absolute joke. This is an absolute joke. You can't trade back against Victor's Q shield because he will win always, in most cases. If Victor Q animation cancel, Q ease you, whatever, etc., and he's autoing you, and you stand there to try to auto Victor, generally you don't, as a mage, you don't chew through the shield. And if you try to, his autos mean more than yours. This is a joke. This is huge for Victor. It's so big for Victor. Vex W shield 50 to 170 to 50 to 150 plus 75% AP. Okay. Vladimir. Q heal is just down by 5% AP? 30 to 200. What? Why is Vlad not really getting hit? What? Wait, how are these massive nerfs? What? Wait, what? Wait, how are these massive nerfs? Additional heal, empowered. 5% missing health to 5 plus 3.5% AP. What? How is this? No! Dude, his worst part of the game is basically unfazed. His worst part of the game is unfazed. This is so weird. Why is the worst part of his game unfazed? Elite 500 is unironically going to get rank 1, man. What is going on? What is going on here? He's a lane bully in a lot of matchups. His healing's like unfazed. He has more HP, more resists. What is going on? Dude, What rioter just got done reading Twilight? Like what is going on? Bring me Riot Bella. What is happening? What is going on here? Like, I don't, like, what is going on? What? Okay, all right, I'm turning off chat again. Okay. Volibear, W heal. Okay. 20 to 80, or 20 to 80 plus 8 to 16% of Volibear's missing health, to 20 to 80 plus 7 to 13. He's not even being hit! Why are these champions literal most vulnerable parts of their laning phase? Look, dude, if someone is actually attacking your E-shield to the point where 1% of your max health matters pre-level like 10, you're out of your mind. You are out, you have lost your noggin. If you actually think this is not real, this is fake. What is happening? Are we getting ready for like a Vladimir Volibear meta? And like, well, no. I mean, Volibear still doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't actually do anything. Like, he just built Sheen. You know what I mean? He doesn't do anything. I don't think he'll be in top lane. Realistically, like, I don't think he'll be in top lane. Like, maybe he will end up in top lane. It's just so weird. He's going to have so many bad matchups. How can he be in top lane? He's going to actually have so many bad matchups. Now, the reason that they probably nerfed the AP is because there's that really stupid, like, I've only seen it on the Korean server. I've never seen it elsewhere. There's that really stupid AP Volibear build where you go, like, you go Fecal Breaker, Rift Maker, and Asher's Tooth, Zanya's, and you just perma-split. This makes no sense, man. Makes literally no sense. Warwick Q heal percentage. Yeah, let's just tag Warwick for literally, yeah, honestly. You could have left him alone, guys. No one would have cared. Xin passive heal, 7 to 92 to 6 to 74. It's also losing 3% AD. This probably just really hurts, like, top lane Zen more than it hurts jungle Zen. Jungle Zen doesn't care about the heal. Like, really, he does not care about the heal. He really doesn't care about the heal. Oh, yeah, here we go, Riot, yeah. Let me read about the Win brothers. Let's see what you're going to do to keep them in check. Here we go. Yeah, let's read about the two champions. One that deals mixed damage and one that, one that deals mixed damage, true damage. You already can't move them out of lane after they recall with 1100 gold. Yeah, let's see how you're going to nerf them. I'm sure this is going to be, yeah. Oh, his windshield. Oh, it's going to lose 15 rank 1. Oh, okay. Wow, yeah. That'll keep him in line, yeah. Yone, W shield. Oh, yeah, because usually when Yone E's you in laning phase and he sweeps his little sword and does the W thing and gets a shield, you're really trading back. Yeah, you're really trading back against that, yeah. You're really standing still while he's tethered to his E and queuing you for the third time with lethal tempo stacked, yeah. Yeah. The 5 HP is going to keep him in check. His literal first items don't even build AD. He like stacks attack speed in lane, so the 5% bonus AD nerf doesn't even really tag him early either. Wonderful, wonderful. Oh, no. Oh, my God. I love it. I love it. Now, it doesn't mean that these champions are, like, super competitively viable. I do think that Yone struggles a lot in a lot of instances. But it's just really funny to see, like, I feel like how disconnected the problems actually are with, like, their shields and, like, early laning and stuff. Most of the people that say that, like, Yone and Yasuo are, like, really bad, though, usually they're not very good at the game. I'd be very curious to see what like Pizong, his thoughts would be on like the Yone and Yasuo changes. That would be really interesting. He streams on Twitch. I really hope that someone asks him maybe in the next few days what his thoughts are on the Yone and Yasuo changes. Yorick. So I'm interested about Yorick. I actually talked about this. I wonder if Yorick with some of the changes can actually be better, but Q minimum heal 12 to 82 to 10 to 68. I wish I knew what this meant. I wish I knew what this meant. I think Q is his hammer thing, right? Where he kills a minion and something. I wish I knew. Yorick has like 4 abilities you guys might not know. He has like a bone cage. He has a bone cage thingy, and then he has a thing where he throws his fecal matter at you. Okay. And his Q's an enhanced auto shovel thing. So it's fine. I didn't know that his Q had a heal. I actually did not know that his Q had a heal. It's totally fine. Yuumi, passive shield, 60 to 40, levels 1 to 18 plus 30% AP, to 56 to 360, levels 1 to 18 plus 25% AP. Yeah, I mean, the shield isn't like what really is nuts. E-heal, 70 to 190 plus 35% AP, to 65 to 165 plus 25% AP. So the E-heal is getting tagged. Now, sometimes in lane, Yuumi goes Q to 3 points, then maxes E. And other lanes, Yuumi does just outright max E. In the lanes where she goes Q to 3 points, it's not as problematic for the mid-game transition. She's only losing 5. Yuumi does not build AP. Okay, I will say this. Yuumi can build AP over Moonstone Renewer. We're going to have to see what happens to the items. The people who play Yuumi and build Luden's Echo fail at math, okay? Because Liandry's, it does everything that AP Yuumi wants to do and more. It deals more damage, has more CDR, which is literally the whole reason of building AP on Yuumi. So when people build Ludens, it doesn't make any sense. It literally makes no sense whatsoever. There's a guy in chat saying mana ? My God, they both give mana. Are you trolling? Oh my Lord. They both literally build out of Lost Chapter. Oh my Lord. Mana. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. And the Luden proc, the MS really matters when you're tethered to a target, yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Alright, yeah. Alright, let's see. Zach, passive heal upon consuming chunks. 4 to 7% to... Dude, this is not real. This is not real. I assume this is level 1, 7, 11, 16, right? He's not even getting hit. Top lane Zach could maybe be a thing. You guys know about top lane Conqueror Zach? Maybe this is actually a thing. All right, let's go into the items. All right, here we go. Thornmail. Grievous Wounds down by 10, 10. Down by 10, 10. Down by 10, 10. Okay. Chempunk Sword down by 10, 10. Okay. Executioner's Calling 40 to 30%. Down by 10, down by 10, down by 10. Oblivion Orb down by 10. What? What? Blighted Jewel isn't as painful as this. Lord Dominic's is still going to be nuts. The thing about Lord Dominic's is the Giant Slayer passive. Lord Dominic's will still be the thing. Do not fret. The Void Staff nerf is big. Mages already suck, man. Mages already are going to suck on this patch. Everyone having more resist, everyone having more HP. Now you're even penning for less. Mages are going to be so bad. Dot mages are going to be where it's at. Damage over time mages, mages that can combine Liandry, Demonic with like Rylai and stuff like that, that'll be where it's at. Alternatively, spammable ability mages. Ziggs, Orianna, like champions like this. Champions that do not have a dependency on nuking you. Champions that do not have a dependency on damage. Champions that do not like have like a lot of stuff tied into themselves. Last Whisper. Pen down by 2%. Demonic Embrace. Burn damage, 2% melee to 1 point. Okay, so it loses 0.2%. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Players are getting a lot of extra HP and stuff like this, so the math is going to be a little bit different per champion, but demonic is fine. Moonstone, Starlit, Grace heal 70 to 60. Heal and shield power 6 to 5% per stack. Wow, Ivern and Lane really did get hit, man. Plus 8 to Starlit Grace per legendary item owned. Typically, you get 2 to 3. So, I mean, you're losing 4 here. Yeah, I mean, it is a nerf to Moonstone. That feels bad, man. That really does. Okay. Sunfire Aegis, 12 to 10% per stack. What? They're lowering. What? Oh, it doesn't really matter. Sunfire is the rare item. In most cases, it's Frostfire, and Frostfire didn't get built. Wow, Ornn is going to be so happy this patch. Ornn's going to be so happy. I'm so surprised that Ornn didn't get changed. Still stack 6 at maximum. Okay. Same for Master Forge, Fire Crest. Okay. Death Stance. Heal 25% bonus AD doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Also, this is almost in line. This is almost in line with the Oblivion changes. 7.8% melee, 3.6% range to 6% melee, 2%. Okay, it doesn't matter. Doran's Ring, mana regeneration. Restores 0.75 mana per second, increased to 1.2. Wow, you're getting more mana in laning phase now. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Healing instead of mana, 50 to 45% of drain value. Wow. Oh, it's really big for Doran's Ring. Okay, that's big for Doran's Ring, their early game. So it's really big for like Orianna and the champions I mentioned before. Really cool, really cool. Elixir of Wrath, physical vamp, 15 to 12. Shield from Fimble Winter is going down. Ooh, Shield from Fimble Winter going down. That's another nerf to it. Gargoyle, Stone Plate, Shield 100% bonus health, 190% bonus health. That is a lot of HP that is missing. That's a sizable nerf. But again, Stone Plate, usually the whole thing doesn't get chewed through. Omnivamp, 10% to 8%, 15 to 10 for Masterwork items, Ceaseless Hunger. What? They took 5% off the ornament upgrade. What? Heal 25% AD to 20% plus 8%. Wow, the item got tagged. Omnivamp down by 1% on the knives. Knight's Vow, self-heal 8 to 7%. Fine. Locket of the Iron Solari. Is that 200 to 365 to 180? This doesn't really matter. It does matter against Karthus, but for the most part, I think it's fine. Maul Mortis, Omnivamp down by 2% doesn't really matter. It's not why you build the item. 100 to 200 to 100 to 180. That does suck. That is a big flat nerf plus the other flat nerf above to Moonstone. Phage heal, 2% melee, 1.6%. Okay. Redemption, 200 to 400, 180 to 340. Oh my god. Riftmaker, Omnivamp, 8 to 7%, 10 to 8% for Ornn. Okay. Heal, 35 to 25% of mana spent. Seraph's Embrace is just a dead item, unironically. It just, like, this item is so bad in most cases. You only buy it because you built tier and it's cheap to buy into instead of another legendary. This item sucks. Shroud of True Ice, base mana regen is going up. Okay. Steric's Gauge, shield, 75% to 70% bonus health. Steric's, I guess, is fine. Vampiric Scepter down by 1%. Combine that with Aurelia, and now she'll be, I mean, she'll almost still be full build, but fine. Bloodthirster down by 2%. Overheal Shield, 50 to 350 to 50 to 320. This is fine for 80 carries. Eclipse. Omnivamp is down by 1%. Masterwork item sucks, okay. The shield on Eclipse, not like super big. Not super big nerf either. That's fine. Immortal Shield Bow. The shield 275 to 700 to 250 to 630. It's fine as well. Lifesteal down by 1%. Conditioning. Total armor and MR increase down by 1%. This is super negligible. For the people that like get this item and they don't even get 50 armor or like MR in a game, it's so negligible. It's so stupid. This item is like one of the weirdest mathematical items, like runes. This is one of the weirdest mathematical runes that like people take, and I feel like no one does the research on the actual rune. sometimes when they take it inside of the tree. Conditioning used to be really, really broken. It's still really good, but I do feel like it's defaulted to rune more often than not. Conqueror, 9% melee, 8% range to 6% melee, 5% ranged, okay? Okay. Font of Life, ally heal upon attacking marked enemies, 5 plus 1% of your max health to 5 plus 0. That's a joke, right? That's a joke. All right. Conqueror Omnivamp going down a lot is very big. Grasp of the Undying, 2% to 1.7% melee. Okay. Damage, 4% melee to 3.5% melee. This is fine. Guardian, okay. Nullifying Orb, 40 to 120 to 35 to 110. So they're actually nerfing a durability rune. Overheal, 10 plus 10% max health to 10 plus 9% max health. That's still fine. A lot of champions that build this are just champions that build lifesteal items in lane. 1% max health missing doesn't matter. Airy Shield is very negligible. This just almost doesn't matter at all. Taste of Blood is going down as well. This is also another like defaulted to overtaken rune, I think, in most cases. It just feels worse. 10% of your missing health, okay. Barrier's getting tagged. Heal is getting tagged. 80 to... Okay, heal is actually worse than Barrier. Ignite, Grievous Wound, 60 to 50. But the damage is still there. Smite, 90 to 80 plus 7... wow, okay. Well, the Smite missing of max health has changed. Systems, okay. Wow. Mountain Dragon Soul Shield, 200 to 18% bonus AD to 13.5% AP, 13.5% bonus health to 180, plus 16% bonus AD. Okay. So the Mountain Soul Shield itself is going to be nerfed, but not by a lot. It's still going to be, I mean, Mountain Drake's still going to be nuts. Oceanic will stack, but also you got to remember that like you have more HP and you have more resist, so like curving into Mountain just feels bad. Oceanic, stacking buff health regeneration, 2.5 to 10% to 8% per Ocean Drake slain. Ocean Dragon Soul Heal, 160 plus 30% AD to 130 plus 26%. Okay, this is fine. Barret Nasher attack damage. We already talked about this in the other thing. This is totally fine. Maximum attack damage is 520 at 40 minutes now. Void Corruption magic damage. I don't know what that means. No more Unlucky. Baron now waits 30 seconds after taking damage before it can level up and gain stats, namely health. Okay. Okay, so interesting that they didn't just outright, like, kind of remove... Like, this is weird. So, during a Baron dance, you might arbitrarily attack the... So, this is still now going to be a skill for teams. You might, during a Baron dance, arbitrarily attack the Baron to prevent it from having leveled up during, like, a 1 or 2 minute standoff. And you might just have to occasionally weave in auto attacks or, like, spell casts at, like, max range so that you don't take damage yourself, so that the passive applies. Turrets, outer turret AD, 152 to 276 to 167. We did this in 1210 as well. R adjusted will now automatically cast Demon Flare when R Demonic Ascension expires. This will not occur if R Demonic Ascension ends due to Swain's death. Okay. Talia affects several bugs that prevent Talia from queuing her abilities correctly. Behavioral and competitive systems. Honor recall. Recalling all honorable players. A new honor recall visual effects is available. You show up in game will automatically apply to the following players who are honor level 5. Players who are honor level 3 and above and have been honored by 1 or more non-pre-made teammates in their last game. Players who are honor level 3 and above and have been honored by 2 or more pre-made teammates. Non-pre-made. Oh, and okay. Challenger recall. The Challenger recall animation has been updated. If you're eligible for both, the Challenger recall visual effects will take precedence over the honor recall. Friend request blocking. You can now block players in the friend request pop-up. Yes, no more onto spam request. Wow, finally. High MMR duo restrictions. Having a pre-made duo is a slight advantage. So this is for Korea and NA, not EU West. Okay. Having a pre-made duo is a slight advantage, and while current Apex tier players aren't able to duo with anyone, the system only works off of current rank. With this change, we're tightening up the Apex tier restriction to apply to MMR as well. Oh, the goal of this is to prevent climbing smurfs from being able to duo into Apex tier. That said, decayed Apex tier players and the highest skilled Diamond 1 players may be impacted by this change. Up until now, these players could duo and reliably get into Apex tier games, which isn't fair when the people they're playing against can't. Oh! This prevents you from permanently dodging Diamond 1 games and sniping challengers. That's cool. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Which is a thing that they do in NA, and it is a thing that they do in Korea. Okay, this is actually very cool. This is very, 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 very cool. Okay, so now the this is very, 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 very cool. So the MMR matters, but your MMR is hidden, so okay. All right, this is fine. Bug fixes, quality of life changes, upcoming skins, and chromas. Okay, so that is it. This was, I think, the longest patch rundown that I have. I don't know how long this just was. Let's talk about the skins. So this is High Noon Scion. High Noon Victor. This literally looks like Jeepers Creepers, which I think there's a Jeepers Creepers actually coming out later this year, but it actually, like, my first impression is that it looks like Jeepers Creepers. Okay. High Noon Samira. I don't know. It looks like Rogue from X-Men went rogue and joined up with Graves or something like that. I don't really know what to make of it. That's literally just what I think when I see it. I don't know. These splash larges are very underwhelming so far. This looks like Bowser just like lost himself or something. Bowser got like overweight or something. He like doesn't even fit into his clothes. He lost all his muscle. Like, I don't even know what's happening anymore. And then what is this? High Noon Twitch? This looks like the thing from Guardians of the Galaxy just, like, actually started getting clothes or something. Like, I don't... What is even happening? What? The Scion thing just looks dumb. He looks like something from World of Warcraft. High Noon Victor literally does look like Jeepers Creepers. This High Noon Tom Kench looks like... it just looks like an ugly version of his other skins. It looks like Ditto got a control of Tom Kench. Okay. I will make a separate video on YouTube in the next coming few days, although I do have to go to Busan for some MSI stuff and to meet some people, so that'll be cool. But I will make a video on 12.10 in the next couple of days, further recapping my thoughts if you haven't seen the 12.10 patch notes. Basically, TLDR is that tank should be good, and obviously because tank should be good, anti-tank champions should be good. Champions with built-in true damage that are getting a lot of value, like Fiora, Master Yi, things like this, right? Belveth when she eventually drops in 12.11. Things like this should be definitely a lot better. Lane bullies are going to be better now than they were before. Even though you have more resists, and even though you have more HP, so do they. And because so do they, they're generally the ones that are hitting you early, and they're the ones that are just knocking you down. So it doesn't matter about your more resist and your more HP. You have to be able to transform your more resist and more HP into something meaningful. The problem is that the recalls that happen super early on, where your more HP and more resist would actually matter, are not really found in a lot of matchups. You guys already heard me mention about Cho'Gath up above. Cho'Gath generally wants to take Sapphire Crystal and then 3 red pots or a refillable pot, and then he wants to recall into Lost Chapters. Cho'Gath can reliably do this by minute 4. With the new changes, I do not think that it's going to be possible to move Cho'Gath, and I think that that is going to be a very consistent thing that he can get away with now. So that's a pretty good example. Champions who want to or are comfortable recalling really early are going to be better positioned against lane bullies in this patch, but lane bullies like Akshan, like, you know, top lane range champions, etc., they're going to actually bully you harder, and because they have more HP now, they're harder to actually gank, and they're harder to set things up with, which also means that your abilities, which are dealing less damage, and if you don't have D-Ring, if you don't have more sustain, etc., you're going to actually be worse positioned against these champions. The trade-off is that these champions are going to have to inflict more damage in order to be relevant later, so this is just something to keep in mind. And this actually has to do with, this does have to do with, like, Akshan and, like, those lane bullies and stuff. So, that's pretty much, here, let me just make, like, the TLDR, guys. Let me just make the TLDR, for you. This is obviously a very scuffed version. I didn't have anything prepared. Lane bullies are a lot better early, unless versus an early recall champion. Tanks... Anti-tanks will be cool. will be good. Mages who aren't dot or utility champs will be super bad. Stat checkers must have utility to be viable. Victor, Azir, Syndra, bye-bye. That's super good. Kog'Maw should be nuts. Vayne should be, or like, Kog'Maw, Aphelios, these champions should be good. Things like this. Kog'Maw, Aphelios, things of this nature. Kassadin, like things like this are all going to be totally fine. Vayne can be good too. I think Kog'Maw is going to just be one of the best. I really do just think Kog'Maw is going to be one of the best. AP Twitch obviously gets a lot of help now as well. Like AP Twitch, if he's played AD carry, is actually a lot better now as well. Because he obviously doesn't care about resists. He just doesn't care about resists at all. The increased HP does mean that his assassinations are a little bit harder to pull off, but overall, like, his damage is there. So, I mean, there's that. Orianna's obviously very good. You know, like, Orianna, this stuff is all really fine. I'll do another video, like I said, where, you know, we'll see how Riot also reacts to day one. The patch is already out in Korea. I could actually go download it right now. The patch is already out. But yeah, we'll see how Riot reacts day one. But I'll make another video within a few days, and I'll talk about a lot of different champions I think are going to be really good. You know, true damage champions are going to be good. Did I already write this? Did I write this anywhere? True damage champs, very happy. You know, pen reliant champs, very sad. Unless LDR. Although Cyrilda's didn't get nerfed. Giant Slayer passive. Okay, that's it. Alright, guys. Leandro champions are fine, and yeah, that's it for YouTube. This is not it for the stream, but that's it for YouTube. See you. Oh! Patron will not have a tier list until 12/11. Because there was no possible way to make a tier list for this patch. There's no possible way. That's it. But thank you if you become a patron. Thank you. We haven't had an update, though, in like a month because the way that the patches are.